Hi, I'm Rachel from Cougar Board, and today we have Tanner Toolson from the BYU basketball team. Hi, Tanner.
Hi, how's it going?
Good. Thanks for joining us today.
Of course, thanks for having me.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about yourself.
I was born in Utah, and my family lived here until I was about 11 years old, and then we moved from Utah to Washington, and I lived in Washington, played high school ball there, and then from there, lived there for 5 or 6 years, and then went from there to my mission to Jacksonville, Florida for 2 years, and now I'm back in Provo.
How was it moving around so much?
It was a change for sure. I was not for moving originally.
Yeah.
But I think it was good for my development, my future, and so I loved Washington now, and so it was a good little change for me.
So where did you live in Washington?
I lived in Vancouver. It's
Okay.
about 20 minutes north of Portland. It's right on the border.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So why did you move around so much? For jobs or yeah?
Yeah, so my dad got a job up there, and so we packed our family up and moved over there.
So tell us a little bit about your family and what it was like growing up in your family, where you fall and everything.
Yeah, so I'm five. I'm the fifth kid out of six.
Okay.
I got four brothers and one sister. So there's 5 boys.
Mm-hmm.
And so our house was very, very competitive, as you would guess. And I loved to compete against my brothers and to try and beat them in every single sport growing up. But obviously I kind of got beat up a little bit because I was a kid.
So do you all play basketball?
For the most part, I mean, we all played at one time or another. And so it was always fun to kind of play against each other growing up. And so I got beat up a little bit and kind of rough and tough around, but I think it was good for my competitive nature to, you know.
What other sports did you play?
Growing up, I played soccer, baseball, football, rugby, pretty much all of them.
Yeah, which one's your favorite?
Definitely basketball.
Okay.
Definitely basketball.
Okay. And is your dad a basketball player as well?
He is. So he played at BYU actually in the 80s and 90s, and so it was a good time.
Did you spend a lot of time playing together when you were growing up?
Yeah, for sure. Me and my dad was always go to the church, and he'd rebound for me and teach me a bunch of stuff about shooting and just about the game of basketball. And so I owe everything that I know to him and to all the help he gave me.
Yeah. So when did you start playing basketball?
Started from when I was young. I mean, from when I could remember. I've always loved playing basketball, and even like junior jazz, little kid leagues, and so I just loved it. And so I've just been playing for as long as I can remember.
What was high school ball like?
Yeah, high school ball, it was a little bit different because I kind of had a late growth spurt. My freshman year, I was about 5'8", 5'9", and I was on the C team my freshman year, and it was pretty demoralizing to see some of my good friends that are my age are playing on JV and succeeding and stuff like that. And so I just had to be patient and wait for my time to come. And then slowly I started growing through high school. I ended up growing to 6'5" my senior year.
Wow.
And so it was quite the growth spurt. But sophomore year again, made JV, and then senior year was finally on varsity, and I was kind of able to exploit a lot of my tactics and skills that I've developed.
So did you feel like being on the C team helped you to work harder?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it gave me a little drive to try to kind of improve and to beat the people ahead of me, and so it was also good for me to be able to play point guard when I was little, and so I was able to develop those skills. So when I grew taller, I would be able to have those skills.
So were you on a championship team in your high school?
I was not, no.
Okay. It says something in 2020 you were on the Interscholastic Basketball Coaches Association. What's that? Tell us about that.
So that was 2020, my senior year. I was Mr. Basketball for the state of Washington, and so it was a very big shock because no one would have guessed it going in. I wasn't even ranked going into my senior year. And so, but I believed in myself. I believed that I could achieve that, and so I had to continue to work hard and play my game and let the game talk rather than the people and everything else.
Tell us what Mr. Basketball is for those of us that don't know.
It's basically just the state player of the year
for
my class, and so.
How did that feel when you found out you won that?
It was pretty surreal.
Yeah.
I remember my coach coming up to me at the end of practice one day, and he's just like, hey, come here. He told me that I was the state player of the year, and I honestly didn't believe him at first. I thought he was joking. And so when I found out that it was legit, I was pretty ecstatic, and it was pretty cool, but knew I had a job to do with the team, and so I kind of put that away and put that aside until after the season to really relish it. And so I was able to do that and then help our team continue to win games.
So how do you win that? How do you get that award?
So basically, all the coaches in the state of Washington vote, and they voted me to be the state player of the year.
Wow.
Which is pretty crazy.
Yeah, congratulations. Did that open doors for you?
Definitely. I mean, I think it was big for my recruiting, and so it was very, very cool. It was a cool experience.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see. Tell us a little bit about your mission.
Yeah, so I started July 15th, going to the MTC. And back in 2020 was when it was COVID, and so we did all online MTC. So I was able to spend time with my family while getting ready for a mission. So that was a pretty unique and special experience. And then going out, I started in Georgia, southern Georgia, and was there for 6 months, and then moved all around Jacksonville and Tallahassee, Florida for the rest of my mission, and I loved it. I mean, it was some of the best memories I've ever made was out there, and with some of the best friends I've made, and so it was super cool.
Did you speak English, or did you learn a language?
I spoke English.
Okay. So you've been home now for how long?
Got home June 15th, so about 6 months.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You just barely got home.
Yep.
Have you been adjusting okay to college life?
Yeah. I mean, the first 2 or 3 months is always going to be rough. Just kind of like, it's just a big change.
Did you go right from your mission to BYU?
Okay. So I got home on the 15th, and I started school the 21st of June.
Okay.
So it was a pretty quick change.
Right back into it.
Quick turnaround.
All right. Well, thank you for being with us on part 1, and we'll ask you some further questions in part 2.
Absolutely. Thank you.